The New York Knicks are 11-2 since the OG Anunoby trade on January 1st, and 3 of those wins have come against the Timberwolves, the 76ers, and now the Nuggets. New York has won 2 of those games by more than 30 points and led in the other by 20 before Minnesota made a late run. On Thursday night, they picked up a 38-point victory over the reigning champion Denver Nuggets. Only the Phoenix Suns, who have won 7 straight games, have a longer winning streak than the Knicks' 5. No team in the league has a better record in the last 10 games 8-2 than the Knicks. New York is 11-2 since the new year, and their defensive rating leads all of the NBA with 103.3. They also lead the league in net rating in that span, plus minus 15 points per 100 possessions. The Knicks are also grabbing 55.6% of rebounds available this month, despite being without Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein, who has missed the last 2 games. Anunoby has yet to have a single game with a negative plus minus for the Knicks. He was a plus 38 Thursday, finishing with a team high 26 points and 6 steals in just 29 minutes of play, by the way. Quote, "We're a really talented team," OG Anunoby said in the glorious moments after the Knicks had bulldozed the Nuggets 122-84, and we went out and we showed that tonight, end quote. Jalen Brunson responded to being snubbed for the starting point guard spot in the All-Star game by scoring 21 points and adding 4 assists. Quote, "Congrats to Damian Lillard. That's it," end quote. Lillard was named an All-Star starter on Thursday, but there's no question that Brunson has been the better player this season. He has the edge in points per game, 3-point percentage, effective field goal percentage, and box score plus and minus. Quote, "I'm never going to throw shade at Damian Lillard," said Charles Barkley. "I love him as a person and as a player, but I would have loved to see Jalen Brunson as the starter. I said this last year, I can't believe what a great player he's turned into. But he went to the Knicks last year. I was like, that's a good signing. It's one of the best signings I've ever seen for a free agent. Nobody knew he was going to be that good. He has been fantastic. He's made the Knicks relevant," end quote. Against Denver, the Knicks never trailed, never led by less than 10 across the game's final 42 minutes and 38 seconds, by less than 20 across the final 24-52, by less than 30 across the final 12-30. It was a complete massacre, and that's with Jokic scoring 31 points and grabbing 11 rebounds. Quote, "They had an off night," said Brunson, who wasn't about to read too much into one night of dominance, even if he's clearly enjoyed every second of it. "That's not typical of them, but a win's a win. We fought and played well, and now it's on to the next one," end quote. Julius Randle scored 17 points, had 7 rebounds and 8 assists. He had this to say, quote, "We just executed start to finish. We played strong with the lead and were able to sustain it and build as the game went on," end quote. And for my fellow Knicks fans out there, we know that Randle has not got it done in the postseason, and I'm still a little bit skeptical about Randle in the postseason. Now, I'm not saying he's going to choke, but I would like to see the Knicks go out there and get another scorer, whether it be someone off the bench or someone in the starting lineup potentially, just so that we have more confidence, right, in the playoffs, because Milwaukee and Boston have given us trouble this season. I would like to see how we match up against them, of course, now with Anunoby, but I still think we're that one piece away. I don't think it's Donovan Mitchell. I don't think it's DeJounte Murray. And I sure as hell don't think it's Zach LaVine. We'll see, of course, what Leon decides to do. Maybe he doesn't make a move at all, but I would love to see the Knicks get one more piece of this team, and I truly think that we'd be able to beat anyone. And shout out to Dante DiVincenzo and Deuce McBride. They combined for 8 threes yesterday on Thursday against the Nuggets. It wasn't long ago that the Knicks were known for beating bad teams, right? I just mentioned you guys struggling against the Celtics and the Bucks. We got blown up by the Clippers, right? It just hasn't been ideal. But look at what the Knicks have done during this winning streak. They've beaten the Nuggets, they've beaten the Timberwolves, and they've beaten the Sixers. And the Knicks still on the season are 19-0 against teams with a losing record. So it's good that they are winning the games they're supposed to, but in order to win a championship, you've got to beat the best of the best. And that's what we're hoping to continue to see from the Knicks, and they're doing a good job of it right now. I mean, this is clearly the best Knicks team since the 1990s. And that says a lot, because those 90s Knicks teams were fantastic. And yes, they fell short, no doubt about it. But to even have a team playing like this, it just shows that the Knicks are fun again and they know what they're doing. And I can't wait. And shout out to Leon Rose, general manager. He drafted IQ, Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride, Goes out there and he signs Jalen Brunson, Isaiah Hartenstein, Dante DiVincenzo, trades for OG Anunoby, Precious Achiuwa, and Josh Hart. And sure, Obi Toppin ends up trading him to the Pacers, which I don't think is the end of the world. I mean, Obi hasn't been very good this season, especially on the defensive side of the ball, which for the longest time this season was the Knicks' weakness until they got OG. So I don't really think he'd even fit here. Evan Fournier, absolutely not the best signing, but we could move his contract with a first-round pick for potentially a guy like a Malcolm Brogdon, or maybe we go out and we get a player that can defend, that can knock down the three ball, like a Bruce Brown would be amazing over for the Raptors. They've got a pretty bad record, so I can't stress it enough. The Knicks are one piece away from a championship, and it does not have to be a star player. It could be someone as simple as Brown, like I just said. That would be so awesome to see. I mean, after winning 9 of 13 games to bridge December and January, the Miami Heat, talking about our next opponent, which is tomorrow afternoon on Saturday, they have lost 5 games in a row. This is a team that is just not playing high-level basketball. Even Jimmy Butler said, quote, "Yeah, I'm concerned. Don't nobody want to lose, especially 5 games in a row." And quote, so you can see that Miami's struggling. The Knicks still have to take care of business. They still have to go about it as any other opponent because they don't want to allow Miami to win this game and then get hot, because we know how tough they can be in the playoffs with Jimmy and these guys around him. So Eric Spoelstra is just one of the best coaches in the NBA. Just like the Knicks going out and trading for OG Anunoby, the Miami Heat made a trade of their own for Terry Rozier to try to spark this team. And in his first 2 games with the team, he has scored just 16 points on 6 for 21 shooting. That's 28.6%. Not exactly going to get it done. Rozier can get hot in a hurry though, so I'm definitely not counting him out against the Knicks. But you look at New York, they're now the 4th seed in the East thanks to this 5-game winning streak, and they're only going to get better. We've seen the Knicks be shopping Quentin Grimes to multiple teams. We potentially could see Daniel Gafford be moved to the Knicks, the 25-year-old big man who's had a good year for the Wizards. Malcolm Brogdon's a target that's been coming up, but there hasn't been much talks the past week. I do think Bruce Brown honestly is going to end up being a Knick. That's what I would bet my money on. In terms of DeJounte Murray, the Knicks do want him, but they don't want to overpay, and rightfully so, because Murray would be a great fit here, but he's going to cost a ton, a fortune, so the Knicks are just not really interested right now in him. I think it's going to be either Brown or Brogdon, because those guys, it's got to be Brown, because Brogdon's, what, 32? Brown's younger. He's going to be more flexible. It's not just the money, but it's also just the timeline for the Knicks. He'd be able to mesh a lot better with it than a guy like a Malcolm Brogdon, who's owed a ton of guaranteed money. So expect the Knicks to trade for Bruce Brown, in my opinion, and then, of course, make a decision whether or not to fix his contract or maybe decline his option. It really will come down to who's available, what star players, because that's what the Knicks are monitoring. And that's the best thing about the Knicks, is they haven't gone out there and overpaid for Zach LaVine. They're just kind of waiting around for the right opportunity, the right piece. And I'm happy for it, man. The Knicks are fun again, and I'm so happy. I'm proud of this team, guys. It's your boy Swaggy. Also find me over at Knicks Daily. I love you guys.